Everybody, Billy Tucci here, and you are watching the Brothers Boyd on YouTube. Booyah!
Hey guys, Chris and Josh here. Daniel's sitting in with us, but he's on mute and out of the picture. We got a special video for you today. Josh and I went Thursday night. I went, and Josh went Friday night to see Black Adam at the movie theater, and we wanted to give you a real quick review and tell you why we think you should rush on out to the theater and see it, or you can make your own decision to stay at home and not see it. I would say my first impressions, this was the first time I've ever seen a summer popcorn movie in the fall. This was definitely a popcorn action flick. These are the things we saw back in the 80s and 90s when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and all of your great action stars were making action movies. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is probably your biggest star in Hollywood right now. And to get him actually into a superhero movie is one of the best things they could do, first off, because he's going to draw people to the theater. And second off, he's been passionate about this character for a long time. And for him to be able to see it come to fruition and play this part was really just great for him. He really owned the role. He did a very good job. I enjoyed it. I would say that one of the things, and this is me being Debbie Downer a little bit, is it seemed very much an action movie with not enough story in it. It was great, but it could have been amazing. Let me put it that way. Josh, what are your feelings about your first impressions?
Well, Chris, for a film that The Rock has been connected to for the last 15 years, he has been pushing for this to be made. This is one of his favorite characters. He's been wanting to play this part. I enjoyed it. I agree with you. It was a popcorn flick. It was action from start to finish. The one thing I would have liked to seen a little bit more of is a little more character development for some of them. Felt like Black Adam was developed well. The young woman, Adrian Tomaz, and her son, Amon, were pretty well developed, and they focused in on that side. But the JSA were not developed enough. They did not have the development that made me want to care about them as much as I would have liked to. I did enjoy the film. I had fun with the film. It was a feel-good, fun summer movie in the fall. You're right about that. I mean, just one of those great things. If I had to pick a favorite scene, I don't know, Chris. There was so many great scenes in the movie, so many things that happened. I might have to go with the one point where he's depowered, where Black Adam has depowered down, and he has to fight his way out of a prison without the Black Adam powers. I felt like that was a great scene to see him fighting that and getting back at it. What about you?
Well, yeah, that was a great scene. My favorite scene, and it's just a comic book splash page. Once The Rock, Black Adam, takes on the mantle of Black Adam as the champion of Kahndaq, we see him go up and sit on the throne. And it just evokes, we've seen this image before in comics with him sitting on the throne. And as he's sitting there, it just, you can see that being drawn into a comic book or a cover of a comic book. Of course, once he sits down and they ask him how he feels, he says, yeah, doesn't feel right, and winds up smashing the throne, which was pretty cool in itself. But yeah, I think that was my favorite scene, just seeing that. To see, I love when you can bring something from the comic book straight to the screen. Overall impressions of the movie, again, like I said, it was great, but it missed the chance to be amazing with a few little details. The plot twist was definitely a great thing. We won't spoil that for you because there is a huge plot twist in there. When the JSA shows up, they're immediately told, first off, Amanda Waller is actually calling them to order. And I don't understand why Amanda Waller was doing it. I was thinking, are we getting Task Force Z? Is Suicide Squad coming in? But no, we got the JSA. kind of a newer version of the JSA, but by far the greatest character in there and the one that I enjoyed on screen the most. Pierce Brosnan does an amazing job as Dr. Fate. He owns that role. I mean, come on, guys, it's Pierce Brosnan. How can he go wrong? It's just I loved his role in there. It was great to see him. We had like an abbreviated JSA, so we only got 4 members, but Aldous Hodge plays Hawkman and does a great job, but very much carries a chip on his shoulder the whole time. And you wonder, why are they sending the JSA after Black Adam? And that's where the twist comes in. Josh and I won't spoil that for you. I would say I would give this movie probably an 8 out of 10. It just missed that mark. The end credit scene, which has been leaked everywhere, but we'll keep it to ourselves, may have been worth the cost of admission just for that, for all of us DC movie fans, because we get it. We love Marvel, but we love DC too, and we want to see them succeed on the movie side too. So if we can get some brief glimpse of the future of the DC universe on film, it's great to see. Josh, overall, what are your thoughts?
Overall, well-made movie. Lots of action. Lots of great action scenes. I love Kahndaq. I felt like I was there. I love the historical setting when it went back. You guys know I'm a history teacher, so I was flashing back to all that stuff I've been teaching my 6th graders with the beginning of the movie when they're in ancient Kahndaq and you see them searching for Eternium. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the film. Like I said, characters could have been a little more developed. It's kind of felt, Chris, remember when Batman versus Superman came out and they released the Ultimate Edition, and that extra 30 minutes really made it make a lot more sense?
Changed that movie completely, made it that much better. You're right.
I think if they'd have had, because it was 2 hours and 4 minutes, if they'd have had about 25 more minutes, they could have had a little more character development. Now, as far as the number of Easter eggs, and as a DC fan more so, Chris is on the Batman side. I'm on the Superman side of the fence. I follow Justice League. So I've got a lot of that Black Adam knowledge, and I went searching. Dr. Fate was great. Aldous Hodge's Hawkman was really great. I really missed Shiera, though. I wish she had been there. Hawk Girl, his girlfriend. I really wish we'd have seen her. Cyclone, Quintessa Swindell. She was playing, her last name was Hunkle. Okay. She was the descendant of Ma Hunkle, who was the original Cyclone in the JSA. And it made sense to have her be the younger version because they did bring it to modern day. You had Adam Smasher, Noah Centineo, and he was the nephew of the original Adam Smasher. Chris, how about that cameo by Henry Winkler as the
we got the Fonz. I forgot about the Fonz. Absolutely.
That was just great. I mean, it was perfect. Noah Centineo needed this to be a good movie because I don't know if you're aware of it, but he turned down Masters of the Universe. He was going to play He-Man, but it wasn't getting made fast enough to make this film. So
I didn't realize that too. It was, yeah.
Yes, yeah, he dropped it for this.
Still need a He-Man film, though.
We do need a good He-Man film, and I understand they're working on it. I love the connection to Shazam, and I can't say his name very well, but the guy who played the Wizard, Djimon
Hounsou.
Djimon Hounsou. He was the Wizard in Shazam, and they brought him back for this. I love that connection. Inner Gang, bringing in Inner Gang from DC Comics, who is one of the big mafias, and they were taking over Kahndaq. They're going to be in Superman and Lois season 3. You're going to get that again, the attacks from Inner Gang, which is a big thing in the comics. The big one that got me is Adriana and Amon, the mother and son. I did not realize it until the end credits, but Adriana and Amon's last name was Tomaz. And Adriana Tomaz is Isis, who gets the amulet of Isis and becomes Isis. She becomes Black Adam's wife in the comics. Amon was her brother in the comics, but in here he plays the son. he becomes the hero Osiris. So they have the makings of the Black Marvel family with Black Adam, like we have the Shazam Marvel family with Shazam.
That's
So we
awesome.
could have that going as well. You know, Al Pratt is the original Adam, my uncle, just so many things. Dr. Fate, they mention that the helmet is from somewhere else and there's voices in it. They allude to Naboo, the god that is in the helmet that talks to Dr. Fate, Kent. Kent, I believe his name was Kent Nelson in the comics.
Wait, did you say Naboo?
Naboo.
Naboo who? Okay, don't say Naboo, because it would be, if it was Jar Jar Binks talking to him, that would be a bad voice to have in your head.
No, it's not. It's Nabu, not Naboo.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
He's one of the
I'd
lords
throw
of
that out
order.
there. Cool.
And then the highlight for those of you who watched Peacemaker, not only did we get Amanda Waller, but Amelia Harcourt, Jennifer Holland shows up, Mrs. James Gunn. You know, they got married a couple months ago.
Absolutely. Did not expect to see her at all. That was really cool as well.
So they're connecting it, even to the point, if you go back and rewatch Peacemaker, in episode 4, somebody's reading a newspaper, and in the bottom of it is a little news article, and it's talking about Intergang in Kahndaq. So it's connected to what was going on in Black Adam. So they're taking small steps.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where this was actually set in the timeline, but I mean, it could have been going on the same time Peacemaker was going on as well. We just never know. So, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I would say, yes, do go to the movie theaters and see it. Because we want the Disney, we want the DC universe to succeed, and if this is the way we do it, make sure. I know that I've been seeing the critics have been panning this really hard and saying it wasn't that good, but the audience doesn't lie, and the audience score so far has been in the upper 80s, lower 90s for this movie. So don't trust what you hear from the critics. Go see for yourself whether it's a good movie or not.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I think it's a great movie. Every movie has its faults. Every movie has things where you can see where they could do things better. But for me, this was the perfect way for DC to come out of that slump. And I know you said you didn't want to spoil the mid-credit scene, but it's like bubbling up, dude. I was so excited. All I want to say is
don't do it.
A certain song starts playing, and I see an S curl come out of the fog. And it was
just did it.
It was just beautiful.
You just did it.
Yes.
More than anything, they just confirmed that Henry Cavill's not done in the DC universe, which is great because I want to see him get a good script and a good director and get a good Superman film.
Yes. Well, they've already started by adding the S curl in his hair. That made my night when I saw that on Friday, because he's never had the S curl before. It was perfect.
Right.
And voice was just that commanding voice when he steps out. We need to talk. Yeah.
Definitely establishing that Superman is back.
Yes.
So,
and if you had
maybe
to have
the next time we'll see him,
that would be it.
I did hear a rumor that he was on set on Flash filming, so hopefully we'll see the Trinity when Flashpoint comes out.
That would be wonderful. Love to see
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So guys, Chris, 8 out of 10. I'm a 9 out of 10. You know, just short of a 10 out of 10. If it had more character development, it would have been perfect.
Maybe we'll get that director's cut and it'll jump to that 10 out of 10 for you and maybe 9 out of 10 for me.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And you can see I'm in Kahndaq right now with Atom Smasher behind me. I've got that background here today. So guys, that's what we got for you today. I say go see it, enjoy it, sit in the theater, get some popcorn and a soda, enjoy the movie. So you can scream and cheer at that mid-credit scene like everybody else was doing when it happened. We are going to be in a couple of places in the coming up weeks. On November the 5th, we will be in Wilmington at the Wilmington Toy and Collectible Show, Chris. and Hobby Show?
Toy comic and hobby show.
Toy Comic and Hobby Show from 10 to 5 at the Moose Lodge. And I'll throw the banner up here for you guys to see it while we're talking. We're going to be there on the 5th. And then on the 19th, we will be in Havelock for the Havelock Comic Con. And it will be 10 to 5 as well. Chris, where's that one going to be at in Havelock?
It is at the Havelock Tourist and Event Center.
Okay, Havelock Tourist and Event Center in Havelock from 10 to 5 on the 19th.
Yep, and we'll have 57 vendors as of right now. Sounds like we might get close to 75 by the week of it. So lots of things to see. Come out and see us and tell us about your comics and what you're watching and whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and come out and talk to us about Black Adam. We'll debate it with you. Chris gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10. You guys tell me what you think. We want to know. Leave it in the comments so we can have that discussion.
Absolutely.
And till next time, we will see you at the shop.